little more knee bend. We got to get better getting our hands inside, and just playing with a little bit better pad level, keeping our hips down a little bit. But I think overall, I really have a great feel for the first group, and that I can see them taking some steps. And they obviously, you can always, we're never gonna stop getting better. And we got to start developing some depth and seeing some guys behind them start closing that gap and getting closer to that first group, those guys that are working in the second group.
You had the officials out here today. How happy were you with how clean they were, just in terms of penalties?
Well, I mean, we had a hold and a couple hands to the face, and I didn't see them, so I'll go back and look and watch them. And sometimes it's always the same. Sometimes you think that's a good call. Heck, sometimes you think, I thought there was another one or two from Saturday they could have called on us. So these guys do a great job. They come out here and when it's like a game, they give us feedback, and heck, if you make if you have a penalty, they throw a flag on you. So it's always good. You're just getting game ready.
How do you see the right side of the line shaking out at this point, and who's filling in for Bobby on the left side while he's out?
Right now, Cortland Ford is at left tackle. That's where Bobby played. Took a good majority of his snaps last year at Virginia. He played some right tackle also. So, when Bobby gets back, we'll get him in there and get him competing. And you said the right side. What was your first question?
Just the right side overall.
Yeah, right side's doing well. Didich is doing a nice job at right guard. Jonah Monheim's done a really nice job at right tackle. The whole first unit, I see flashes of us operating at a really, really high level up to this point. Do we got a lot of things we can improve on? No question, but you see it headed in the right direction.
What's the hardest thing about this offense, maybe for an offensive lineman? Especially a lot of these guys are learning, another scheme. They've learned had several offensive line coaches.
Yeah, I always think that obviously there's new terminology, and they're having to associate things back to what they know. So you're trying to figure out, this is like that, or whatever it might be. Some terminology might be the same. But I think then beyond that, it's kind of style of coaching and technique and the way you're teaching things, and the way you'd like for a guy to step. And there's people do it different ways. So they're just adjusting to the things that I'd like to see them do, but they're doing a nice job with it.
How much a concern is depth at the position right now?
I think we need to develop depth. I think that's what our challenge is this spring, is to develop depth behind our first group, and to get some guys closer to the first group. They can go compete. The best lines I've been on, we had 8 or 9 guys that could play, and because of that competition every day, that guys were in there challenging, fighting for jobs, it really elevated the overall play of our line. So, our guys are working hard. We got some work to do to get to that point.
What is Bobby's timeline to get back active?
I don't think he may get a little bit of work in this spring. I think it's just still day to day, and we're just trying to make sure that he's completely healthy before we put him back out here to have a reoccurrence. So I know every day he's working on his own and doing rehab and working really hard to get back.
Obviously, he's an experienced guy, but does that set him back maybe compared to some other guys who get this entire spring within that new offense?
Oh, well, yeah. Because it's a new system. If he'd have been in the system, that wouldn't be probably as big of a deal. But Bobby is a very focused and intent guy. He might ask me more questions than anyone at practice. He's always back there looking and watching and asking me what was a coaching point that I made to a guy, and so he's doing a great job of getting reps without getting mental reps, and getting himself prepared from a mental standpoint.
What did you see from Haskins that made him a priority to bring in?
Really, Bobby was here before I got here, and when I watched him, kind of like when I took this job, Coach told me they had a guy coming from Virginia. So when I watched him, I was really happy that he was coming to SC. I think he's a tough guy, talented, played with an injury all year last year, always available there for his team. And, and the thing I really see from him right now, he's a glue guy in the room. He's a camaraderie guy. He's a morale guy. Everybody likes him. He gets along with everyone, and he's very intelligent. He understands football. He answers questions well. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting him out there and seeing what he can do physically.
Did you have to sell Voorhees on coming back, and do you recall the conversations you had?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Did you have to sell Voorhees on coming back for this year? And
No, I think Coach Riley did that. He was already coming back when I got here too. So I think Voorhees just kind of got a feel for what was going to happen around here for about a week, and then he decided, you know, Coach told me when he first got here, Andrew was thinking about leaving pretty strong, and then he just came in a few days later and said, Coach, I'm staying. I want to be a part of it. So I'm glad he did. Obviously, he's a talented player. He's a really good person, and he's going to be a leader in that unit.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks.